जिंदगी का सफर है ये कैसा
So welcome everyone to the 10th stop in our train ride through ancient Indian cultural history. Now, it's been quite a journey so far. We started in the kind of mysterious depths of the Indus Valley civilization. We maneuvered through all the complicated twists and turns of Vedic mythology, ritual, chanting, and then we explored the kind of deep caverns of the philosophy of the Upanishads. We've now arrived squarely at what you can think of as the post-Vedic age, which is the time period starting at 500 BC to roughly 300 BC, when a lot of things started changing all across North India. For one, we've already seen how in the Vedic Hindu sphere, the Upanishads ushered in a new spiritual search for the ultimate truth. Knowledge, especially knowledge about oneself, became a prominent new religious value. And it threatened the kind of unquestioned dominance of orthodox Vedic ritual that Brahmin communities had established for 1,000 years before this time period. Maybe a bigger threat to the dominance of Brahminical ritualists at 500 BC started to come from outside of the Vedic tradition, from the so-called heterodox or Shramana religions that began to have kind of enormous popularity in the context of a second urbanization in ancient India. This is exactly what we're going to look at in the next two stops of our journey. We're going to go outside of the Vedic ritual enclosure and start seeing what everyone else was doing, what everyone else was thinking about, how they came up with different answers to that same core problem that, if you remember, our Upanishadic thinkers were kind of obsessed with. How do you eliminate karma and liberate your soul from the inevitable processes of old age, disease, death, and then rebirth when you have to do it all over again? So today we're going to look at the older of these movements, which is called Jainism. Jainism is a venerable and fascinating religion which finds itself kind of always under the shadow in many ways of its two friends, Hinduism and Buddhism, but which has always had a kind of learned monastic community and preserved a massive corpus of scriptures, scholarly writings, and all kinds of literature, even up to today. Jainism is basically like a treasure trove of traditional knowledge, and we're going to only be scratching the surface, really, of this fascinating religion and see how this tradition approaches the problem of karma. We'll begin by looking at the historical background of both major heterodox or Shramana movements, Jainism and Buddhism, and kind of talk about what was happening in the world around them when they emerged from 500 to 300 BC. In the second segment, we'll go over some of the basic facts about Jainism and its two major sects and the kind of core religious ideas. In the third segment, we'll then go through a detailed overview of the life story of the founder of Jainism, Vardhamana Mahavira. Then in our final segment, we'll be looking at how Jain religious thought approaches the problem of karma, and the pathways to liberation as revealed in one of the more important of the Jain canonical works, the Tattvartha Sutra of Uma Swati. So sit back, relax, get set, because this promises to be an interesting and illuminating session.